Oh, okay, cutscene first.
Sign this, please.
Hey, sure thing, kid. Stay in school.
Please, a picture.
I'm sorry, man. I gotta catch up with my teammates.
Please, it is very important. This is a special camera favored by shooters and archers.
What did you just say? Hey, come here. You're one of them, aren't you?
Kai Akamoto, Totoro Racing, 1972. Back then, I was unstoppable on this track. But many things are different now. Here, focusing over there. That Dirk. He must be up to no good, don't you think?
Yeah, no doubt. Upset about something, that's for sure. Wait, what's he doing at Mayan Motorsports? Any some news for all the teams? No? Walked right past us. Something is definitely up. Something that doesn't involve Fury. First Buck is excluded from an owners meeting, and now Dirk's sending some secret messages to the other teams. What is going on here, Key?
You are on the right track, my friend. But you must go deeper. Learn more. There is still much to do, huh? For now, enjoy your victory. Things will get much harder from here on out.
You can just tell me what's going on. What does it serve to not tell me? I'm gonna be so upset if the weather gets worse by the time I finish this recording session. I can't buy food and I just don't have dinner. Alright. Now, sponsors. I need to take inventory of how many hatches we've found at this point. I haven't done so since after the first episode. It feels so weird being in my actual chosen outfit. Oh, Pug! The guy in first right now. That's Gavin. That's named after Gavin. Guy who has been pretty open about. So I don't think they fit. No. So Gavin did not. Was not with this game when it was released. Like, he was on the game at one point, and he has provided some help in figuring out the archive format used by this game. You can also find some stuff written by him on TCRF, Cutting Room of Floor website about unused stuff in games, in case you're not aware. Awesome seeing an actual developer do stuff like that. Also, I am not doing very well in this race. Can't rely on having smart stats, unfortunately, since I get to choose my bike. Yeah, darn Gavin up here is really ruining me. But yeah, you really can see that the NPCs are named after the devs, which is fun. Get off of me. Yeah, just choosing a good route among all the possible routes that you don't really have a good way of knowing which to choose the first time around is a pretty big part of these races, clearly. And not really knowing. Well, this course is kind of claustrophobic, so I don't really want to overshoot jumps, so I'm not preloading on anything either. At least most of the time. Like, here seems a good place to preload. Maybe, I guess it didn't really make a difference. Feels like a kind of a boring course, though. I guess there's some waving trees and whatnot, but largely it feels like it's just kind of a pretty simple hill climb with some branching paths. Or I guess which path you take matters a little bit early on. Okay, well there we go. Very good. Look at all that XML. You will now compete. Well, Team Fury vehicles only. Why didn't you remove the whole mechanic of me being able to buy vehicles? Okay. Well, let's keep going. Okay, so again, we don't get to choose what to use for each of these things. I guess Astrid is just like, is Astrid not capable of becoming a rival? I guess that's how that works. It's funny. But, we can go back to freestyle. I feel like getting off of the light vehicles for a moment, though. Give me a nice comfy truck. How much money do I have to blow on engine upgrades and whatnot right now? I probably should actually try a gearbox upgrade at some point, too. You might get better torque or something from it, I don't know. Engine is obvious what its benefit is, but it doesn't cost much. Of course, it doesn't do much either, but none of these other upgrades really do much for me. That costs a stupid amount for how little it does. At some point, I do need to try out the brakes on it. Oh, I need to tune my brakes too. I was considering making my brakes even more rear only, and I already had them. Maybe not too much, but a bit. I don't know if I want better brakes. Actually, I'm pretty comfortable with my brake setup if I make it a bit more biased towards the back, maybe. I'm not using the clutch, so I probably don't need to upgrade that. I mean, we should probably try it out at some point. Do I want to be heavier or not? I mean, it's like, it's a pretty negligible difference. It's like it's like 1/4%. Wait, no, hold on. That's not the right order of magnitude for that. But it's not even 10%. It's just like 2.5% or something like that, which seems a little dumb. I have no lighting. I could put lighting on this thing if I want for some reason. I don't think there's a reason to. Doesn't cost much, but still. I don't know if the bumper does anything. Wheels are just visual. I don't know if I'm even allowed to customize that. No, ignore all that stuff. Let's just try out the better gearbox, I guess. Let me kick myself at some point if at some point I buy some really expensive cool thing, like a really expensive gearbox, and then they just give me the experimental version. There's no experimental suspension though, interestingly, or prototype. So that you just have to buy the good ones. No prototype clutch either, interestingly. But I guess just to see if I haven't even noticed I haven't been paying attention to how many gears I have or anything, but their gearbox might be good. I have some money to spend on, I guess. Try it out. Shocks seem fine. Oh, you can really just tune all the. Oh my god. I don't think I want to have that much customization on this thing. Like, wow, that's some control you got. Just something like this. But yeah, I hope that's not just giving the ability to control your gear ratios, paying for all that. I would hope you actually have like more gears or something. I can see I have 5 gears. I'm not sure how many gears I had before, to be honest. Presumably there's something, you need to upgrade your gearbox once, I think, to get access to that menu, and then upgrading your gearbox anymore presumably doesn't change whether they have access to that menu, so I don't think I just paid a lot of money for access to that menu. I think there is also a component of your gearbox actually somehow being better. Again, I don't know if you get better torque or what, or maybe more gears. Don't know. But yeah, I don't quite, I don't even know what each course is going to be like, right? So I don't, on that grounds, like, you could hyper-optimize these things. I do think they probably made a UX mistake by giving you that fine of control, because it gives you paralysis upon seeing it. The simpler stuff like, hey, how strong do you want your shocks to be? One dimension of freedom here. How do you want to bias your brakes? Like, if it's a single number to tweak, that feels pretty unimposing. Get the camera back out here. But, More than that? I gotta adjust now to this heavy vehicle after the ATV. Dude, back up. So I don't know if it actually means anything for their rival text color to change. Okay. I will say the truck races have been getting harder, but nothing crazy tough yet. Except for, you know, that one turn that kept throwing me off earlier at the end of the last race. Hello. A couple episodes ago. Yeah, this course feels pretty comfy so far. Yeah, I don't see any spots that are like obvious, whoops, you might roll yourself over sorts of spots or anything. Or you might like fly off the track in a dramatic fashion. Like that last turn of that one course, which was a pretty massive trap. That was pretty mean on the devs' part, especially at the very end of the course. I love how they even have a hole in the wall, so you can really just fly off entirely. They specifically go out of their way to not catch you. See, look at me catch myself there. Almost sliding, but not quite. McGee is not holding up so hot these days. That's interesting. We'll probably catch back up at some point anyways. Usually if you see a rival or something like that fall behind, they catch back up eventually. The game is absolutely programmed for them to stay ahead. Even if they have occasional hiccups. That lost me a lot of speed. Yeah, I'm paying for that. Hear more engines creeping up on me. Oh boy, moving on. Probably not taking the best line on that particular part there, cutting the inside so much, but if I just slow down a bit, I can take that line okay. So it's probably not the worst. But if I go too quickly, I do end up sliding out of off the road. I think when I start feeling like pressed, like someone's right behind me or something, or if I'm trying to catch up to someone, I do have a tendency to start cutting turns in a really stupid way that is actually a very inefficient racing line. That's a problem I think I had a lot in Fury 3, and it seems to apply in this game as well. Now, honestly, I don't think I'd complain if this game was entirely just the truck stuff. I love having to handle these heavy vehicles. And the other vehicles just feel disadvantaged in certain ways, like being able to wipe out or whatnot. Oh, come on, stop. Oversteered a bit more than I expected. A racing game where the machine you're handling is not something that just obeys your every whim, but actually takes some real effort to really understand how to make a move in a reasonable fashion, and you can kind of lose control of. I love that. And the tactility of how you slide and whatnot in the game, having to pay attention to how much traction you have on different surfaces and everything. All very, very fun. It really is the highlight of the Fury games for me. And this just emphasizes the thing that I love the most about Fury 3 already. Well, gameplay-wise. Another thing I like the most about Fury 3 is just the cool environments and some of the freestyle courses have, which this game just doesn't have. But can't have it all, I guess. Alright, last lap, here we go. Pretty comfortable lead. Okay, thankfully game didn't and then incur the game's wrath by going a bit too far off the course there. So I was moving forwards all off the course, which is an extremely dangerous game to play. The cheek protection, whatever you want to call it, can kick in at that point. The game decides you've skipped too much of the course. That first turn did go pretty poorly though. I lost a good deal of ground there. Kept my grip pretty well there, jeez. Granted, I let go of the gas for a pretty good part of that turn, but and you can see pretty well, I think, whether I'm holding the gas most of the time in this game, at least in this vehicle, by looking at the green bar on the right. If I'm on the ground and the green bar is filled, it means I'm holding the gas. Oh no! The weather's getting worse again. Not that bad, though. Not a lot of money on my part, but still money. Good job, McGee. Oh boy, not much of a rival anymore. I won't say no to 4,000 credits. No. I refuse. Could I put my decal on my vehicle? They have decal on my vehicle. Can I even put decals on the Fury vehicles? I haven't tried customizing them. I don't remember if I'm allowed to. Whatever. I mind being in the Fury vehicles less if I thought they looked good in this game. I think they look a lot worse than in Fury 3. Of course, that's not the main concern. The main concern is I bought a freaking expensive bike and I can't use it. Anyways. And just generally, the whole progression of different vehicles and, like... And being able to choose vehicles that emphasize different stats is mostly gone. But anyways, alright, next time, maybe freestyle, I don't know. Kind of the usual flow I follow for each continent here.